What is up, my guy? Greetings and all that jazz. It is week 35. Big KD back in OKC. Should have stayed. Merriam-Webster's word of the day is trivial, and that is something that is just unimportant, not important, not relevant. So do with that information what you will. As freaking promised. I actually did. I had 2 spins. I spent yesterday and Monday. So I had those. And I'm rucking right now. So I'm getting back on it. I told you I'm not BSing. I'm sick of my own BS and not holding myself accountable. So I spent twice. Well, not this week because today is Wednesday. We actually recording on time too. Look at that. I'm getting my life all the way back together. You know what I'm talking about? So 2 spins. It's all to report from last week, but I take that over the zero I had been getting for the last almost 2 months. So, and I'm rucking, probably a spin tonight. So we're making progress, man. We are making progress and getting it back together. Work is work. It's going fine. Like I said, they send me work. I do it. I do plan on asking tomorrow when I got my one-on-one with my manager. More like job specific things I should focus on studying, because like again what they give me is kind of laid out, you know what I mean? And I've been going over the same slides and videos for a little minute, so see if I can add something else to it. Is there anything else I need to learn where I might be able to help out? Make yourself as much of an asset as possible. So that's the plan for tomorrow. Business wise, now I have improved. I'm back writing in my book, documenting the jobs and everything. But I only can remember technically 2, because I did one today, but the one I did today can't really speak on because it's for week 36. You know what I'm saying? So I had one for Saturday. It was a desk disassembly and removal. A really big, sturdy, hardy, like old school desk for an old school like military officer guy. So you can tell he, held himself in high regard. Well decorated, like I say, all kind of plaques on the wall from like the 70s. So I would imagine he was in his 70s. You know what I mean? If he was doing that then. Military and law enforcement. So knocked that out on Saturday. That was in another city, surrounding city. So when I knocked that out, I'm like, cool, all right, I done got paid, got a couple extra dollars. Always, boom, throw a little bit more into the kitty. See if we can get something else to come through. Now I'm an hour away. So on my way home, instantly, boom, boom, boom. It's Saturday, like I've learned. Even though a lot of pros' money runs out at the beginning of the week, there are still people Friday, Saturday, Sunday, still, they just bought whatever they bought. Or it's been sitting for however long, or they just found out about Thumbtack. It, varies why there are still so many customers at the end of the week when pros' money gone. So you benefit from being there. So I add that, boom, instantly 3 people reach out like, hey, can you do this, can you do this? One of them was in South Carolina, like almost 2 hours away. But for the money, I was gone. I would have been down there to about probably, I think I could have got there by like 3:30, I'll say. And if I got there by 3:30, the jobs they had would have taken, I believe, 6 to 8 hours. And then you send almost 2 hours back. So, yeah, 1, 2 in the morning. But what they would have paid, baby? Fine. Because guess what I would have been doing the next day? Nothing. So, had that. Didn't do it, though. They ended up, there was someone that had a lot of work being done at the house. And their carpenter had sourced it out. But the carpenter, or somebody sourced it out, whoever was filling the rolls and stuff. And they were like, the carpenter said they could do it. I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. Didn't really want to drive that way anyway. So, that went by. Had someone else reach out on opposite ends of the city I'm in. They wanted me to drive south of the city I live in to disassemble a king size bed and haul 2 nightstands to the city that's to the north of where I live. So although it's at least, I'll say 40-45 minutes of commute time minimum. So 45-minute commute. After I load all this up, pack it into my SUV, load it up, transport it to 45 minutes, and then reassemble the bed. I give them my price. And I give a very fair price because I'm like, again, with some of these prices, I don't know if it's imposter syndrome because I'm like, it costs what it costs. And this is a fair price now that I'm in this and know it. But like, I know when I first started, the things, what I charge now, I wouldn't have missed out on the jobs that I'd be like, I'm not doing that for that. I would have took it because one, hey, that's more money than, I didn't got to do anything else on my own. And just excite me to get anything. I'm still appreciative, but no, I value my time way more now. So I was like, hey, this is what it is. Again, very fair price. They were like, that's a little out of our price range and budget. Can you, sweeten the deal or negotiate on the price? I was like, the best I can do is take $50 off of it. That's already a very generous price that I gave. That was discounted as is. $50 is what I get. Well, can you make it 100? I cannot. Because for 100 less, we could do it. For 100 less, I can't do it. I'm not. It ain't I can't. I can, but I will not. No, I'm good. So they were like, they was like, all right, well, we'll see if we can come up with the rest of the money or whatever and get back to you. Cool. So that goes by. Like I said, today is Wednesday. So Monday, they reached back out like, hey, can you still do our job for us? You think you can do it tomorrow? So Tuesday, I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, y'all done got my extra money? Cool. So they sent pictures or whatever. Again, it was a king size bed and 2 nightstands. They're like, yeah, so we went to the place where we're picking the stuff up from, and I'm sending you the picture of everything now. I'm like, y'all just sent me the pictures. King size bed and 2 nightstands. Yeah, it's a king size bed, 2 nightstands, and now it's a big dresser with a mirror attached. No. You added stuff. So I'm like, okay, originally we agreed to this price for the bed and the 2 nightstands. Are you trying to add that dresser with the mirror? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. But that's gonna increase it 100. And they were like, that's kind of, steep. Can you just make it 50? No, what is up with you in this 50 mess and trying? No. I said, I already told you. That was a very discounted price for the 3 items. Now you're trying to get me back to the price that I had for the 3 items for a 4th item. And you've shown me that you have the money to pay me, because what you're negotiating is back to the original price I had when you tried to lowball me on the 3 items. So you have the money to pay me, and I'm all for trying to save some money. But you pay what you pay. And if you're dealing with me, this is my price. Again, I'm always gonna be fair, but it can't be shooting myself in the foot. And doing this, going that far and doing this for what they're trying to pay me, it was already shooting myself in the foot at the beginning. You're trying to get more work for less money? Absolutely not. We don't even need to do business. So I didn't end up doing that one or whatever. And that was fine. So it was that one way down there in the other state. And that one, they wanted me to go city to city. And I know it was another one that ended up reaching out in the city, but I don't know what happened. We didn't end up working it out and making it shake. So the one that well, like I said, that's for week 36, so I can't say. So that was it as far as business goes. Like I said, it's going great. I'm getting out of my funk. I'm rucking, I'm spinning. And as stated, this month I'm focused on significantly reducing my screen time, primarily, especially doom scrolling on YouTube. Like, I'm trying to not watch YouTube at all this month. Or I may open it up to like 30 minutes or like 30 minutes a day. That's not horrible compared to how much I used to scroll. Like, I'm not even listening to my podcast when I'm working and stuff. I'm just listening to music. Like, again, I wanted to see, could I resort back to pre-technology, having all these things to distract you at my disposal? Do I just have the discipline and self-control to, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So, like I said, not doing scrolling on social media, not going into YouTube at all. if somebody sends me something, then I'll look at it. But like to go myself, as soon as I get the alerts or like whoever I listen to, whatever podcast or whatever, I go ahead and swipe it off my notification so I don't even get tempted. And that hasn't been hard. Like, I know yesterday, I watched a significant amount of TV throughout the like work day and stuff. Yesterday I was tired. I didn't get as much sleep. I got decent sleep, like quality wise, but I didn't get a lot. So I think that's what it was. Like, it was like, man, yeah, no. It took me a while to wake up. And then I had got going watching, dang, what's the name of that show? It got Everybody Loves Raymond in it. Him and, is her name Lisa Kudrow? Something like that. It's a lady in it too. I've seen her, I think she was on Friends. But her and him are husband and wife. And he wants to sell the house that they live in. She really doesn't want to because of all the memories. And it's his childhood home. So of course he's in his like 50s and not 60 in real life. And you know, clearly on the show or whatever, at least in his 50s. And he wants to sell, she doesn't. The reason he wants to sell because we need the money. I want to get out of this house. She doesn't want to sell because their son actually died in the house. So that's what spoiler alert, somebody gonna watch this. I think it is called, I don't know what it's called, but whatever. So it's a bunch of couples coming to check out the house. Some of them been wanting to move there for a while. And now, you know, they have the for sale sign. They're doing the showings and everything like that. And what ended up happening was their son was killed in the home. So they're going around, and the way it makes it seem, of course, like, you know, it's a slow burn, slow reveal or whatever at the end. But you knew the son, you knew he died at first. Then you found out that he was murdered. Then you found out that he was murdered by his sister. Then you found out he wasn't murdered by his sister. He was murdered by a neighbor, a lady who lied to her husband and was messing with the young boy, lied to her husband. I guess she made it seem like she came from wealth because her husband was like an actor or whatever and was of wealth, but she was like from a trailer park and stuff like that. So she like just blowing his money. They don't have any children together, and she just pretty much using him. She don't love that man. Matter of fact, she was in love with a lesbian, with a lady, and wanted to be with her and was talking to her about leaving her husband. But the lesbian was like, this ain't that. Like, this just, you know, this we just having fun. I'm not trying to thug it with you like that. So that's that or whatever. And like I said, you found out she was not just dealing with the lesbian lady cheating on her husband. She was dealing with the young boy. And the young boy was breaking into their neighbors' houses and stealing stuff. So he's going to steal from her. She knew he was stealing because, again, they're dealing with each other. She knew he was stealing, but she catches him in her house. She's like, hey, man, get out of here. What are you doing? And he like, I'm getting back what you took from me. I forgot what it was that he said she took, but whatever it was, I'm getting this back from y'all or whatever. And she like, nah, you can't do that. So he take it and go run into his house. He got on, you know, gloves and a hoodie and everything like that. So he's running, she's chasing him or whatever. You don't see that at the beginning when they first, like, you know, described this like last episode. And so she's chasing him. And she's like, I'm not playing with you. You're not going to mess this up for me or whatever. Get my stuff back. So he runs in the house. When he runs to the house, of course, again, he looks like a burglar because he is a burglar. He has on burglar stuff. And his sister's in the house. And she doesn't see her brother. I see somebody look like a burglar running, and they bamming on the door like he's banging on the back door and hitting it with his shoulder trying to bust it open. He gets it burst open. The sister shoots. You know, and he drops. So all the sister knows, I shot, my brother dropped, he died, I killed my brother. So the sister had been away, the daughter's sister had been away for years, like never came back. She's like, I can't come back. You know, that was traumatic. I don't need to be there. It reminds me of what happened, whatever. I feel bad about killing my brother. Then it comes out, no sis, the uncle helped because he was like the troublemaker of the family or whatever. The dad, everybody loves Ray, his brother. He's in it as well. He's trouble. He had been in prison. I'm guessing they framed him or he got in trouble for something else. So when he gets out, he's like, yo, I need $80,000 or whatever. You owe me, you know, I did time for you. They don't go into detail about what the time was for, but I'm guessing it had something to do with his brother. So I did time for you or whatever. I need $80,000. He like, man, I'm not giving you that. So he tried to frame his brother or whatever to get him to go back to jail with coke. Like a good bit of it too, you know what I'm saying? So he tried to frame his brother. He ends up getting locked up when he buys the coke that he trying to frame his brother with. Get out or whatever, and then it unveils everything and shows that when that's what it was. So the uncle had the bullet and some of the stuff stashed. He had evidence from the nephew getting shot or whatever, I guess to, blackmail his brother. So when he goes to approach his brother and talk to him, I ain't ate nothing. So, and this week I'm also not eating. How you doing? He goes, and when the evidence he got to frame his brother or whatever, they see one of the bullets. So they had the bullet or whatever. And the brother's like, why do you still have this bullet or whatever? You should have, got rid of that, whatever. And he like, man, I ain't trying to hear none of that. So he's like, well, no, he was like, I did get rid of it. Well, that's not it. So that's what it was. It was an extra bullet that they had. And so Ray Romano was like, what are you doing? Like, why is this extra bullet or whatever? Because I had the real bullet from that night, like in a pillowcase upstairs. He like, I don't know. So they go and do the research, realize so if it's 2 bullets from that night, that means potentially the sister didn't kill the brother, right? So they do the research, figure it out. Because their gun was a 9mm. How you doing? Their gun was a 9mm, but the extra bullet and the one that the son was shot with was a 40. Nah, that math don't math. That's not 2 + 2 = 4. That's 2 + 2 = 19. And no, we're not doing it. It's 21. So they start doing the research and find out that came. Yeah, that's what it was. The actor that was going with the lady who was dealing with the son. They saw him in the picture with a 9mm or whatever. I think he had got off his mental health meds or whatever and got in trouble and was like waving the gun and stuff like that. So they saw in the picture, wait, he got a 9mm in the what do you call it? I'm supposed to be getting a Fanta and so how you doing?
All right, how you?
I'm all right. So they are they might have what I've been looking for. They are. I thought that was it. I got happy for a second. No, that's something else. So they see the gun. They're like, "What? That's a 9mm, right? That's a 40 right there, or whatever." Putting 2 and 2 together, and find out that he was killed with that gun, but it wasn't the guy. It was his wife that had High Creek. $12 is crazy though. I'm not paying that. She had chased the boy down and shot him, and shot literally at the same time the sister did. So they were under this impression the whole time that the sister killed the brother, whatever. And nope, it was her. And I think her husband set the house on fire while she was in the tub, which was crazy, like the way it played. Cause it's like, how dumb are you? There's no survival instincts or skills because this place wasn't like food. As soon as she started smelling smoke, she started screaming for help. As soon as I started smelling smoke, and ain't no fire right there, I'm getting out of here. Even if matter of fact, especially if it's fire, I'm getting out of here. But she's screaming, help, help, help. And apparently stayed in there long enough to get burnt up on the face. So, and that was her bread and butter, her looks. So, you don't have that now. But really good show. And the reveal at the end was like super nice, the way they played it out. So, enjoyed that. But what I was saying was, I'm in the grocery store because also this month, I'm significantly decreasing my out to eat food. So working on eating out, I say no more than once a week. Yeah, on the weekend. Let's say like Saturday or Sunday, like reset or whatever. But other than that, it's gonna be all groceries or something like that. No going to a drive-thru and grabbing something, with the exception of, like I said, maybe Saturday, Sunday, and increasing my veggie and fruit intake. Like I got a whole watermelon at home. I'm gonna cut it up some, and I'm going to juice it. And my sugar, because I love sweets. So we're decreasing the sweets as well. Gonna significantly lower how much sugar I take in. And processed foods too. But for the most part, just eating at home, prioritizing protein, drinking more water. And if I'm buying like 0 calorie and low sugar drinks. So if I want something besides water, I can get that, and it's not giving me calories and sugar and stuff. So And so far it's been good. Like I say, the change with the what do you call it? With the screens. I mean, of course I'm recording on this right now, but I gotta record, keep up with this. And with my diet, I'm not doing bad. I mean, of course it's only the 3rd, it's September the 3rd or whatever, but haven't had any cravings and I'm doing really good. So that's it, man. We doing all right so far in week 35. And I look forward to week 36 because I got to keep this stuff up. I got to stay consistent. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. So we're turning around and getting ourselves together. And I have more to report week 36. So, of course, take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Keep working. Remember, everything we're working on will come overnight, plural, with an S, not overnight. We didn't make the mistakes that we made overnight. We didn't do the good things that we did to get to the positives in our life overnight. All these things take time. And it's going to take even more time to get to an even better place that you plan on getting to. But, yeah, man. And I guess I finished with, it felt really good earlier today because I be having to make room for these videos. These records take up a lot of space on my phone. I went back and saw, and I that too, I hung up the, plaque or whatever you would call it with the printout of my, state registration stuff, whatever. And with that very first job I did in the other city or whatever, it was a desk. I remember she had a little organizer or whatever that she wanted to put together, and I did those, and she tipped me cash. I did it through the app that didn't pay me no money like that, and she tipped me in cash. So with the cash that she tipped me, I framed that with first job, and I put it up, so that made me feel good or whatever. But I watched the video because I recorded, I wanted to catch that emotion of me leaving. It was yo, I felt great. Now I don't have the newness is gone, of course, because this is part of my life now. Still appreciative, and I do still have those moments every once in a while where it's but I'm really doing a business my own, and it's going well. You know what I mean? But of course, that first one, it was I think that's what it is. That first one was yo, I fought imposter syndrome and I won. I did it. It went well. I can do this. I don't fight imposter syndrome as much. More so, like I say, with pricing. But I have the confidence now. I've done, we should be, if not at 90, at least 80-something jobs. So I'm going to sit down and count. Because we just started September. So I'm going to sit down and count. Maybe tomorrow or Friday and see exactly how many jobs we've done. But, yeah, man, it was boy, you couldn't tell me. Yeah, because the 8th, so it's the 3rd, in 5 days, that'll make 6 months since that first job. So to look back at just 6 months and how much we've made, how many jobs we've done, how many people ever returned, how many people ever referred me to somebody else, man, you couldn't tell me, dog, that this year was going to be like this. I said, even with the job, I said, they were trying to lowball me, we couldn't do business because I didn't like the way that okay, clearly you have more money to pay, but you trying to control and that's all right. Even with that, man, when I first started, or at no other point in my life could I have turned down even what we agreed and what they was trying to get it up to with adding a dresser. Man, I would move hell and earth because working full time in the job, and I make decent money or whatever, but I don't make that money in a day at work, and that's with taxes and all that. I mean, I pay taxes, don't get me wrong, I pay taxes with my business, but with a check, that is instant pay. That's coming right then, and I can put the taxes up now, or I can, whatever. But versus, working or whatever, my job, no, it'll come in a week or it'll come in 2 weeks or whatever. So to see yo, I'm really in a place where I can afford to say, I couldn't do this before. I couldn't turn this down or whatever. We talking more money than I would try to make in a whole weekend being out Ubering and Lyfting, sometimes to 3, 4, 5 in the morning. I would have got that in, what was that job? Again, it might have took, I'm going to say it would have took me the drive, because it was, they wanted it at 4. So I might would have ran into some traffic or whatever. I would have ran into a little bit of traffic. And, oh my God, I would have ran into traffic. I'd say it probably would have took me maybe, I'm gonna say an hour to get there. No, it wouldn't have took me an hour to get that bed taken apart. It would have took, I'd say maybe 30, 45 minutes to get it taken apart. another 30 minutes to get everything loaded, depending on traffic. 45 minutes to maybe an hour plus to get it there, unload it, get the dresses and stuff in, and then it might have took me out. So let's say 6 hours. But for what I would have made in that 6 hours, it would have been worth it. But it was like, no, I don't like, we can't agree. We can't get on the same page. I'm good. You can get somebody else to do it. And I was okay with that. I was like, that's really mind blowing. So take care of yourself, my boy. I'll holler at you next week.